Saying sorry constantly is not a personality trait. It is a trauma response. And it started long before you were old enough to understand what you were actually apologizing for. You apologize when someone bumps into you. You apologize for taking up space in a conversation. You apologize for having needs, for asking a question, for existing in a room where someone seems even slightly uncomfortable. And the worst part? You know it is too much. You catch yourself mid-sorry and think, why did I just say that? But you cannot stop. It comes out before you even decide to say it. This is not about being too polite. It is not a quirk. It is not just a habit you picked up somewhere. It is your nervous system, running a program it learned a long time ago to keep you safe. And once you understand where that program came from, everything changes. There is a concept in trauma psychology called the Fawn response. It was first described by therapist Pete Walker in his work on complex PTSD, and it sits alongside the responses you may have already heard of: fight, flight, and freeze. Fawning is what happens when a child grows up in an environment where conflict, anger, or disapproval felt genuinely dangerous. Not just uncomfortable, dangerous. Maybe a parent's mood was unpredictable. Maybe love was conditional, given when you behaved well, quietly withdrawn when you didn't. Maybe expressing a need or simply making a mistake led to punishment, to rejection, to a coldness that felt unbearable. In that environment, the child's nervous system makes a very intelligent calculation. The fastest way to stay safe is to make sure no one around me is upset, especially because of me. So the child learns to scan the room, to read faces before anyone has said a word, to shrink, to preemptively apologize before anyone even has the chance to become upset, to take the blame, even for things that were never their fault, because blame accepted quickly feels so much safer than conflict unresolved. That child was doing the only thing they could, and that child might have been you. Here is what this looks like inside the brain. When you grow up in an environment where other people's emotions feel like a threat, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, becomes finely tuned to the earliest possible signs of disapproval. A shift in tone, a long pause before a reply, a look that might mean anger. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux's research shows that the amygdala processes emotional threat signals in milliseconds, far faster than conscious thought. So by the time you are aware that someone seems slightly annoyed, your nervous system has already activated, and your mouth is already forming the word sorry. This is not a choice. This is a conditioned reflex. And research by Dr. Martin Teicher at Harvard shows that childhood environments involving chronic disapproval or unpredictable emotional responses actually alter the development of the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-worth and emotional regulation. This means the part of your brain that should be able to say, I did nothing wrong here, is structurally less able to override the part that is screaming, make this safe, immediately. Your body genuinely does not feel like you have a choice. Because for a very long time, you didn't. You didn't choose this. Your nervous system did. And here is the invisible pattern this creates in your adult life. You take responsibility for other people's feelings. If someone is in a bad mood, your first instinct is to wonder what you did. If a friend goes quiet, you assume you have somehow caused it. If someone raises their voice, even slightly, even at something that has nothing to do with you, your chest tightens, and the apologies begin. You minimize your own needs before anyone even asks you to. You say things like, sorry to bother you, or sorry, this is probably stupid, before you have even finished the sentence. You apologize for your emotions, for your opinions, for taking time, for needing things, for simply being present. And underneath all of it is a belief so deep you may not even be fully aware of it. The belief that who you are, as you are, without shrinking, without apologizing, is too much, is a problem, is something other people need to be protected from. That belief was not born in you, it was taught to you, in a place and at a time when you had no way to question it. So, what do you do now? The first step is learning to pause before the apology comes and ask yourself one honest question. Did I actually do something wrong here? Not, did someone seem uncomfortable? Not, could this possibly be my fault in some way? But did I genuinely cause harm? If the answer is no, practice letting the sorry stay unsaid, just for a moment. Notice that the discomfort passes. Nothing catastrophic happens. This simple pause, practiced consistently, begins to create new neural pathways. Cognitive behavioral therapy has strong evidence for exactly this kind of pattern interruption. The second step is working with the shame that lives underneath the apologies. Internal family systems therapy, developed by Dr. Richard Schwartz, is particularly powerful here. It helps you find the part of you that learned to shrink, and rather than fighting it or silencing it, you learn to understand it, to thank it for what it did to protect you, and to gently let it know it does not have to work so hard anymore. The third step is the slowest, and perhaps the most important. It is practicing taking up space, in small, safe ways. Sharing an opinion without apologizing for it. Asking for something you need without wrapping it in layers of sorry. Sitting with someone else's discomfort without immediately trying to fix it. Each time you do this and survive, each time the relationship holds, the person stays, the world does not end. Your nervous system quietly updates its records. Slowly, gently, but permanently. You are not too much. You never were. The part of you that learned to apologize for existing was just trying to make sure you were loved, in the only way it knew how at the time. You get to learn a new way now, one where you are allowed to take up space, one where your presence is not something that needs to be constantly excused. That is not selfishness. That is healing. If this reached something in you today, please subscribe. Every week we go deeper into the patterns trauma creates and what it actually takes to heal them. Leave a comment below. Tell me when you first noticed this pattern in yourself. I read every single one.